Welcome to 30 Days of Marketing Mavens. 30 days, 30 experts, 30 marketing niches. Brought to you by Profit Master Business Solutions. More leads, more sales, and more revenue for your small or medium-sized business. Click findnewrevenue.com to learn more. Now here's your host, Howard Walpoff.
Welcome back to 30 Days of Marketing Mavens. Again, I'm your host, Howard Walpoff. Thank you again for joining us. And it's the conversations that we've been having here have really been truly amazing. And today is really not an exception. It's a world that we've been discussing before with our guests that I've been slow to opening, but really spend a lot of time with right now. Today we have Elliot, and she is really a amazing resource on Facebook groups and how to use those to gain your audience and have an audience that interacts back and forth with you to grow your business and grow your revenue. So Alex, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
So you are very active on Facebook and very active online. I see a lot of activity, and I'm on at least one email list right now from you. But how did you all get started with everything?
It's a great question. So I am what you call an overnight success, 14 years in the making. So failed my way forward for a good long time in this internet world and space. I've probably taken every course out there and tried every avenue making money online there is. And somehow by the serendipity ended up really, I like to call it in a place of like major desperation just about a year ago. In fact, literally,
really?
when I look at the actual date, today is we're in February. It's February 19th, February 24th last year. My world completely changed. I was in a super dark place. Had made some really. I look back, reckless business decisions, lost a lot of money, and ended up in a spot where I was down to like 4 figures, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Right? It was a very terrifying time. And decided kind of to take a little bit of a Hail Mary and took the One Funnel Away Challenge by ClickFunnels and just decided to dive in, focus on one thing for once, and really just give it my all because I had no choice. Like the only way out was through. It was, I didn't have time to mess around. So entered in that way. The One Funnel Away Challenge really took Steve Larson up on his admonition to publish daily. And he said, if you publish daily 365 days out of a year, you'll never go hungry. And I was like, I want that. So took him up on that and decided, the next follow-up question was, okay, where? Am I going to publish on YouTube? Is it going to be Medium? It's like, what's the thing? Where am I going to publish? And started evaluating my competitors, started good old funnel hacking and decided to check out and when I say competitors, I had no product at the time. I was like, I'll make money with affiliate marketing. Sure. That'll be what I do. I was desperate. So decided to be a ClickFunnels affiliate marketer, started looking at the top ClickFunnels affiliate marketers. They all had Facebook groups and they were not just dead tumbleweed Facebook groups. They were vibrant, alive Facebook groups where they went live frequently. They made offers frequently. They engaged with their people. Their people were showing up and engaging without them. It was like this vibrant community. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is like a modern day, 3-dimensional en vivo living, breathing email list. It's so much better than an actual email list because you can actually have this two-way engagement and conversation with these people. And not only that, it's this amazing, it's like a living, breathing sales funnel, right? When people come in the group, what are they doing? They're exchanging a lead magnet for an email address, right? Frequently, they're like, hey, let me give you this free thing, and then you'll get on my email address. So I was like, wow. Okay, so I'm seeing this structure of this sales funnel. There's the opt-in page. They come inside. You're taking them by the hand. You're building know, like, and trust factor. Then you're training them on something, making them an offer. Money falls out the bottom. And I was just completely enamored with this model. And I thought, this is it. I'm going to go hard. This is where I'm going to publish daily. And just began, because I had nothing else to teach, I began sharing my insights from every single day in the One Funnel Away Challenge. That's exactly how I got started. I was like, hey guys, going through this really cool challenge over here. I'm just going to give you my breakdowns and my insights and how I'm applying it in my own business. And we can even workshop it on your business. And so every day I'd go live and we'd workshop it with people and word started to get out. And I'd go live on my profile and invite people into the group to workshop with me. And that's how it all got started.
That is an amazing story. I think
It's crazy, but it's true.
It's a story that so many people can relate to, because you open up your computer and you get these emails. Oh, I can do that. I can go be an
Yeah.
affiliate for this, and I can make money on that. But it's not as easy as it
Never.
seems, and there's a
Never.
process, and you have to learn the process. And
And
the
I'll tell you,
fact
at
that
the beginning,
you have a view like this is amazing.
I had to get comfortable posting into the void in the beginning. There was nobody in the group in the beginning, right? Nobody was engaging with my stuff. And I just had to, it was all about publishing daily and showing up anyway, and showing up even when nobody showed up on the live, and posting even when nobody was engaging, and just continuing the process until, traction hit in.
So how did you start getting people to know you were there?
It's a great question. So a couple of things. A mentor of mine suggested that I set what's known as a Facebook profile funnel. And if you actually go to my Facebook profile right now, you'll kind of see one in action. I have a Facebook profile funnel in action right now. I'm not currently leading people directly to my group, but at the time when I was in oh my gosh, I really need to grow my group, phase, I had a profile funnel set up where the call to action was, hey, benefit rich statement if you join my Facebook group, click here. And I kind of had this faux button on the cover, and people would click, and inside of that photo description was another benefit rich statement, to my prospect, go ahead and join my group, free group right here, boom, click the link. And so that's how I kind of architected my profile funnel in such a way that the only place they could find me was in my group. I didn't have all my websites listed. I didn't have anything. If people wanted to learn more about me, if they wanted to connect with me, it was going to be in my group, right? I made sure I did not have a leaky funnel. So I just began funneling people into my group from my Facebook profile. I made sure to be active in the top 3 to 5 groups where my target audience hung out. I provided a lot of value. I was very visible. I made posts that were vulnerable. I helped people. I answered people's questions. I just generally made myself very well known in these groups, and very valuable to members of this group. Just provided lots of free help, not asking for anything in return. And humans are a beautifully curious bunch. They would just be like, who's this chick who's everywhere, right? And they'd go to my profile, fall into my profile funnel, and that's how I would grow my group.
And my thoughts go in so many different directions.
Right.
It's the path sound. Look, the story you have would make for a great book in general. But
that's cool.
But I guess the question I have for you is, how does someone who, look, you have a personality that obviously draws people and definitely are want to see what you're talking about and saying. If you have someone who's in a box and they really they have the passion but may not have the personality, they're much quieter.
Yeah, I love this question.
How do they make anywhere near presence that you were able to make?
So I love this question because there is someone that I love and respect so much who has a personal policy. He does not go live. He's like, I'm an introvert. I don't do that. That's not my thing. And so I got started in this game later than him and have watched him just skyrocket in his impact, even with this personal commitment to not going live. So I was like, wow, he is proof that you do not have to go live. You simply have to have an intense passion. So he's an affiliate marketer. He has an intense passion for both affiliate marketing and for teaching other people. And so, he's an incredible blog writer. So he writes these amazing blog posts, and then he takes those blog posts and he sort of tweaks them into incredible value posts, both on his personal profile, in his groups, in other groups. So, there's not this requirement. He's painfully shy. Like literally won't even exchange voice messages with you in Messenger, right? Like he's that shy, but he's such a brilliant guy, and he's deeply passionate about what he does, and he loves teaching it, and he's really into the tech. He's just kind of a quiet techie guy. So, but I absolutely love that he's crushing it because he resonates with other quiet techie people, right? Like those are his people. So the beauty of this game is you're going to magnetize. Listen, I'm clear. I probably turn lots of people off. They're like, whoa, she's all too much, right? Like, I don't know what's going on here. And like, that's cool. My attractive character is going to attract who is attracted and repel who is, not right for me. That's perfect. That's exactly what this gentleman does. There's a lot of people who are like, he may be boring snoring to them, but for others, they're like, oh, that's my people. Like he goes deep on these details that I care about. And he to go live either. And he's nervous. And he talks about being shy. He's vulnerable in a way that he shares that, but he just has boundaries and he doesn't do certain things. And like, everybody respects that about him. And so I think he's a wonderful model for, and his name is Chris Fong, if anybody's interested in following him. But he's a wonderful model for not having to sell your soul, not having to be anything but who you are, and being really successful as an introvert and kind of bucking that trend of like everybody being the dancing monkey, right? You don't have to be the dancing monkey to make money online. And I love that about him.
And that's very important for people to know that you don't have to be the dancing monkey.
It takes a big burden off. Not everybody wants to be the dancing monkey. Totally get it.
Exactly. And there's that fear of being in front of people. I deal with this I thankfully have an opportunity to bring people onto a online TV show for an interview, and that talk through beforehand. They've never been on TV before. A lot of them is the big step out of the box. And some of my clients, they're so wound into their world. But this is the,
it can be terrifying.
This is the opening to get to where you want to be, utilizing these tools
utilizing media. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So let me ask you the big question, but I'm sure I sense that there'll be more from this. What's your number one strategy that's really working well for you and your clients to achieve their marketing goals?
So good. So we kind of have touched on this in this example, but I'll elucidate it even more, and I'll talk about how the strategy has changed. So I told you when I started, I was using this profile funnel and directing people directly to my group. At the time, it was a huge business goal of mine. Like I wanted to get to 1,000 members. Then I wanted to get to 2,000. Then, it was always like trying to hit these milestones, because at the time I thought more members meant more money. I have since refined my understanding, and more members do not mean more money. More intimacy means more money. More value provided means more money. A deeper relationship, more trust means more money, right? So what ends up happening is you over time develop this incredible relationship with the members of your Facebook group, and they end up becoming, customers for life. When I look back at the lifetime customer value of my list and my customers, it is extremely high. Like the average life, I have people who literally have been buying everything I've ever offered since last March. And they're not going to stop anytime soon, because they know how invested I am in them, and I know them. They're my community members. We connect every day. I mean, it's this intimate relationship that you've developed inside of this container of the Facebook group. So I kind of shifted my goal from get as many warm bodies into the group as possible to provide as much value up front as possible and qualify people as buyers as early in the relationship as possible, right? So now what I do, and this strategy is working exceedingly well for both me and my clients, it's, I take my profile funnel, still use that, send them instead to a very low ticket, $7 tripwire offer that is just so heavily engineered in their favor as to be a complete and ridiculous no-brainer to my target audience. It's like, hey, let me give you so much stinking value that I'm like bleeding out, and it's only going to cost you $7. So what's happening? I'm heavily engineering the offer in their favor. I'm leading with value. Gary Vee says, he who leads with value wins. I'm activating the law of reciprocity. I'm serving them. I'm creating this relationship of trust, because now they're like, oh my gosh, so much value for $7. Are you kidding me? They then qualify themselves as buyers. And then in that funnel, I'm testing different things. I can either offer them an upsell, something even better for a great price and even more value, or I can just use that thank you page and say, hey, so excited you've joined us. Come on over and hang out with us in our Facebook group, right? And then funnel people there. But what I've done is now I'm creating a smaller group, or it's the same group, but it's a less rapidly growing group of self-qualified buyers who understand the value I provide, right? So we've got a much more intense relationship, and they've qualified themselves as buyers. And if we know anything about buyers, is that a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. And if I continue to provide value and continue to serve, that relationship will continue to yield fruit in both directions.
Now, when you are getting them to buy the $7 items, you're gathering their email address.
Sure. It's just a, hey, it's an order form. Yeah, it's an order form. It's, hey, here's this awesome, amazing thing, $7. Take it or don't. It's like that.
And when you're getting them into the group, you're also asking for information, and some do, some don't ask for an email address. So you create
Right. So some do, some don't. If they have, this is what we have found or what I have found in my data over time. So I've been running the group that I have now for a year. And I noticed that, over time, I'd say like in the last 4 months, people are kind of having like group question fatigue, like group membership question fatigue. And not as many people are entering their email address in that third question when people ask as previously, right? So our email collection rates have steadily declined over that year, which tells me a lot of people are employing this strategy. There's fatigue, group joining fatigue. Since May of 2019, Facebook has been heavily pushing groups. So everybody's getting pushed into groups. Everybody's joining more groups. I can guarantee you're a member of more groups today than you were a year ago. And right? And we all are. So that being the case, we're becoming a little bit question blind and just not wanting to do that anymore. And here's the deal. You've got 60 characters to make your case as to why they should exchange an email address for that lead magnet. Well, I'd rather have an entire sales page to basically make my case, right? And at the same time, allow them to qualify themselves as a real interested buyer, because I'll take a low ticket interested buyer any day over a looky-loo freebie seeker, right? So that's how I'm intending to build my audience now, and it's working very, very well.
And that's really great information for those who, I guess, in different stages of understanding of what you've done to kind of put their puzzle pieces together in the
Sure. You grow as an entrepreneur. You learn. If you are, what they call a data-driven marketer, you're always looking at, okay, what are my opt-in rates? Like, what's happening here? What does it mean? Like, how can I change things to maybe do better? So you're always wanting to grow and evaluate your activities, right? Because, like Einstein says, like doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, can be insanity. So if you notice that you're not getting the results you want to test and tweak and optimize and figure out, how can I do better?
And it's so true. And it's really great when you give yourself the opportunity to get the data and to figure out what is the right information for you to be utilizing and to get your message out.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a follow-up to that, with using, I'm mesmerized. So that's why my own question.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
So you have the email address you've collected from a couple different sources, and
Sure.
You have the group. What are you using to sell more?
That's a great question. So
both the pitch or the group, and how are you not, cross-pollinating the messages to the same people?
So good. So basically my entire email list has been built from either purchases, like from funnels and purchases, or from my group, but primarily from my group. So there may have been some random funnels out there that, I was playing with in the beginning where I've collected some email addresses, but by and large, all of my email addresses, until I recently made this shift, came from my group. Now what's happening is a lot of them are coming through as purchasers and then being redirected to the group. And then what we're finding is those people are not putting their email in the box, which makes sense. They're already in my system. We don't need them. It's cool. But they're answering the other questions, which is helpful for just marketing data collection. We collect data on are you a beginning marketer? Where'd you find us? How much revenue are you making? What do you need support with? Those sorts of questions. And we rotate out questions and test different things to see what people respond best to. But, I have to tell you, I want to get back to the original question that you asked about, how do I not cross-pollinate? What I end up doing is actually I make the things work together versus work against one another. So what does that mean? It means I'll plan out an email campaign where I drive people to a live event in my Facebook group, right? And so inside of my Facebook group is where I will host the webinar, where I will make the pitch. So I use my email and I just say, hey guys, next Thursday, and I give all the benefits, and here's all the secrets I'm going to train on, and here's all the things. And we build it up as a big event, while concurrently I'm posting in my Facebook group the very same message, telling people, sign up for this awesome event. It's going to be held here in the group. So everything at once is pointing towards this build up for this live event in the group. And then everybody knows, I also have a chat bot. And if anybody who's signed up to my chat bot for notifications, I'm sending out my chat bot notifications, directing them to the event. So all the channels are coordinated to culminate in that live event. Why would I pitch in the group versus email? The same reason you and I are sitting here having this conversation. It's so much more intimate. It's so much more powerful to have a live interactive environment where, maybe I can't see them, but they can see me, they can feel me, they can hear me, they get my intonation. I can be intimate with them, look right in the camera, look right in their eyes. I can answer their questions. I can greet them when they jump in and tell me where they're from and all the things. And I'm like, oh, hey, Cynthia, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Because these are people I know, right? Yeah. And they get excited for those shout outs. And it's an event. People love events. People hate email. Email's the chore. Events are fun, right? So we make it a fun, like the event of the week to be at, and we find an incredible show up rate and a great closing rate and all that kind of stuff. So much more powerful than email. Now, I will say, email follow up is very helpful for those people who were on the presentation but didn't buy. And obviously we can't track that from a Facebook Live, but we just hit them all with those follow-up emails. And you'll maybe do 50% of sales on the event and then 50% of sales from follow-up. So follow-up's really important. Like, I would never not do it, but the pitch itself comes in the group.
That's outstanding information. That really,
Thank you.
For the one who asked the question, you really did answer it. So I appreciate
Cool. That makes me happy.
The picture for others that were thinking the same exact thing about it, because you really want to figure out what's the best way to message people, what's the way to pitch to them with they're comfortable being pitched to. And that really plants the seed in how many people could be doing it.
When you build trust, and I'm telling you, inside of a highly curated, safe group environment where you're regularly going live and where they feel like they know you, when you build that level of trust, when trust is high, people buy. Burn that into your brains, guys. When trust is high, people buy. And in this safe, curated environment of a group where you, the owner, are showing up and serving and being vulnerable, being intimate, and creating that relationship. And even when you're not, right? My friend Chris still does it. He makes a killing. So he just drops his post offers and he does that. So go funnel hack him or group hack him if you want to learn how to do it that way. But, when you do this consistently, like, people will buy, they will convert because they're buying you. At the end of the day, people buy you. They don't buy your product. They buy you because they're bought in. It's the relationship, right? It's Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans. If you guys haven't read that article, go read that article. Kevin Kelly, it's a seminal article from, I think, like 1998. It's called 1,000 True Fans. And it's that mechanism at work.
Well, what you shared with us is amazing, especially with your story being almost a year old, not even a year old.
It's nuts.
It tells everyone that your story may not yet be written yet. And there could be a lot of pages and a lot of revenue that comes from those pages.
Thank you.
So Alex, thank you so much for sharing this. I'm blown away. I really... while I expected a very powerful conversation with you, this was even more so. This was over the top. So thank you so much for sharing this with everyone.
Humbled. Thank you.
What's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they want to learn more about everything that you're doing?
No problem. So the best way to get in touch with me is, wait for it, join my Facebook group. So, right, you knew that was coming, right? So we are over at Digital Marketing Hacks for Online Entrepreneurs. I know that's a mouthful. I'll say it again. It is Digital Marketing Hacks for Online Entrepreneurs. You can just search us on Facebook. We'll pop right up. My crazy mug will pop up and you'll be able to join the group that way. And I would absolutely love to connect with you in there. And let me know you came from Howard's show. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, thank you so much. And definitely take the 2 seconds to type that in. Go join Alex's group. And then obviously the information you get in there is fantastic. And she's incredible. So Alex, thank you for joining us today.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, Howard.
And everyone, thank you again for joining us for 30 Days of Marketing Mavens, brought to you by Profit Master Business Solutions. Go out tomorrow. We're going to have someone else who's going to share more information. And we're looking forward to that, sharing with you as well. So have a great day today, and we'll see you next time.